And we are back with the fourth segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. I apologize for that longer than normal break. I didn't mean to do that. I got some notifications on my phone that that were kind of urgent, and I needed to see. It was regarding class, so I had to just take a little bit of a break and go ahead and look at that. So I apologize for that little break. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and go into the fourth segment, which is talking about NBA rumors. And the big one right now is that the Lakers, it was said that they offered Cedi Osman an invite to camp. Reports have surfaced around that they were extending a training camp invitation to free agent Cedi Osman. However, it's later, with the new news that's been sort of revealed today, it's been shown that those reports were false and maybe a little bit untrue. And the reason why I say this is because he just recently signed with Greece. And on top of that, according to Mark Stein, he says that those reports aren't true. He claims that those reports that the Lakers inviting this man to training camp are completely untrue. So the quote is, "It has been reported in Europe that Turkish swingman Cedi Osman turned down a training camp invite from the Lakers before signing with Panathinaikos, forgive me if I botched that name, in Greece. But sources close to the situation told Stein Line that no such offer was extended by Los Angeles, despite LeBron James's well-known fondness for Osman dating back to his days on being Cavaliers teammates." So Stein also added, the Lakers don't really have any money to add a veteran free agent. So Osman coming to camp wouldn't make sense. Or he adds sense, and he says SENSE sense, and then he says CENTS. It's a pun on words, so hardy. But aside from that, sources say that the 29-year-old who played in San Antonio last season signed a one-year deal with Panathinaikos, forgive me if I botched that name, in hopes that he can play his way back into the NBA next season. So Osman is 6'7", appeared in 72 games for the San Antonio Spurs last season, averaged 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, shot 47% from the field, and before that, he spent 6 years with the Cleveland Cavaliers, averaging no less than 10 points from 2018 to 2022. He was originally selected by the Timberwolves in the second round as the 31st overall pick in 2025, and then he was immediately traded to the Cavs. And he remained overseas for his first 2 professional seasons with the Turkish club Anadolu Efes before joining Cleveland in July 2017. He signed an extension with the Cavs 2 years later, then was part of a 3-team trade with the Spurs and Miami Heat last offseason. And that deal sent Osman and forward Lamar Stevens and a 2030 second rounder to San Antonio, and a 2026 second rounder to Miami, and guard Max Strus to Cleveland. So Osman appeared in 476 regular season games during his 7-year career, and he averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in all of those games. So the Lakers, coming off of a 47-35 season in which they lost in the first round of the postseason, they remain one of the 3 teams that have not signed an outside free agent to the standard contract, and they joined the Cavs and the Boston Celtics. So, excuse me. So the Celtics, they don't have to worry about getting free agents. They already have a championship roster. The Cavs, however, they're kind of trying to figure out if they can make this roster work. So running it back with the season that they had last season is not that bad. The Lakers, however, running it back with the season that they had is pretty bad. And that's all that this argument has to say about this little situation. And in my opinion, obviously the Lakers, they need help badly. But is Cedi Osman going to be that role player that's going to produce? I'm not entirely sure. I have a feeling that he's just going to be he's going to get hyped up, sure, But then once he actually starts playing, the hype is going to start dying down from the Lakers, and people are going to eventually start not liking him. It's a cycle that happens to a lot of these players that play with LeBron. And I don't know why it happens. Maybe it's because of pressure. Maybe it's some other outside factor that it has to deal with. But I don't know why. It always happens like this. And really, I find it pretty baffling that these reports on him, how should I say, on the Lakers offering him an invite to training camp, I'm very surprised that they ended up being false. And I mean, I understand that why the Lakers wouldn't be able to pursue him, but why fabricate these rumors about extensions in training camp if that's not happening, if you're just not gonna do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Now, which side of the report is true, which side of the report is untrue, that still remains to be seen. This is just, Mark Stein from the Stein line. This is what he says. He says that those reports aren't true, and it's more like a he said, she said thing. So it's like, which source to really trust is not, you don't know, and there's no real way to know for sure. So I'm not really trying to say that, oh, the Lakers did this, the Lakers did that. But if it is false, like if it is fabricated, why? Like, I guess that's really the big question. Why even bother fabricating something if there's not even like a chance, Is it just to make the fans happy? Is it just to try and see that, or is it just to show the Lakers fans, oh, hey, we aren't just, doing nothing in this free agency. We're actually trying to get better. We're actually trying to make a championship squad. We're trying to make a team, Like, is it really, it's meaningless. Really, I that's what I think. Like, it's unnecessary because, again, why hype it up? And why do this? Why say this? Why report this? Why report that? If it's ultimately going to fall short, and why even say you're going to pursue if it's going to fall short? If you don't have the cap space, if you don't have enough money for it, like, I would much rather they come straightforward, as opposed to fabricating these kind of things. Again, if it's even fabricated, because we don't know if it is fabricated. This is just what Stein is saying. Now, if it is true, and these agreements ultimately ended up falling short after the training camp. Like, let's say he did attend training camp, and he ended up just deciding, okay, I'm gonna go sign with the Greek team. Then that would be an even worse look for the Lakers, because it's like he doesn't even want to. He wants to return to the NBA, but not for the Lakers, which is like a big slap to the face to the entire organization, if that were to be the case. Again, I have no idea which side of the story is true. I'm just giving my thoughts. Let me know, what side of the story do you think is true? Do you think the Lakers actually tried to pursue Osman and it just didn't work out? Or do you think that the news of the Lakers pursuing Osman just ended up being false? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But aside from that, we are out of time for this fourth segment. So now, as I alluded to in the previous segment, I'm going to be going into the fifth segment, where I talk about a player who I feel like didn't deserve to win the MVP. Now, we left off at Bill Russell last time, and I said before on the previous podcast that Bill Russell won 4 MVPs in the span of 5 years, where I think he shouldn't have won an MVP. And in this next fifth segment, I'm going to go over the next 3 years, considering how in every single one of those years, it's Bill Russell just winning the award over somebody else. So I'm going to go ahead and do that in the fifth segment. If you guys are interested, go ahead and tune in, and I'll be right back after this short break.